are being told that the Warri Refinery will come on stream sometime around June of 2024. If you do the mathematics, everything will be somewhere around the region of 435,000 barrels per day. Not very far off from what Dangote has, which is 650,000 barrels per day capacity. And the reason why I want us to talk about the refineries today is basically because when you look at it, there's a petrol scarcity situation, right? In Abuja, in Lagos. Some of you, texted during the 3 o'clock hour, the big stories session, and you mentioned, you said that in some of the places, the areas you stay, it is expensive. Some are selling, some petrol stations are selling for 900, some are selling for 750, some are selling for 700, 600 plus. So you see, we're not even supposed to be in that position in the first place if we had our refineries working. And how do I mean? We've got crude oil in abundance in Nigeria. We've got crude oil in abundance in Nigeria, and it would not have been as expensive if we had crude oil drilled in Nigeria, transported to refineries in Nigeria, refined by refineries in Nigeria, and then distributed to petrol stations in Nigeria. It wouldn't have been as expensive as when you import, the petrol into the country. And so I remember sometime last year, exactly almost a year now, we did a rundown of how much has been spent, how much we have spent on refurbishing or rehabilitating our refineries in Nigeria. And even the Dangote refinery that everybody somewhat has been looking up to, to come maybe somehow salvage the situation, has also made promises, and we get to see them keep to the promises they've made. So we were told August 2023 turned to October, November of 2023. This is almost May of 2024, and yet the refinery, we're being told, may have started the distribution of diesel. We don't know yet. We yet to see all of that at play, but we're being told that by May, the refinery would start distributing petroleum products or petrol to filling stations. But it's for me a sad situation and embarrassing that Nigeria, the giant of Africa as we like to think, is still having fuel scarcity at this time when we have all the resources necessary for having abundant supply of petrol. We're told CNG will be a thing, and yet again we've got a wonderful gas capacity, gas reserve in the country, and yet we still cannot utilize it. And I'm beginning to wonder, the education, all of the tertiary institutions that we have, all of those things for naught. Are they not building people who can help us and nurse the natural resources that we have in the country? These are some of the questions that I have in my head, and I'm like, what really is the problem? Are we cursed as a people? What really is the problem? Because you've got the natural resources, you've got the knowledge as well, and you know that when you refine these natural resources, you would be able to get XYZ treasures, and yet you still would not refine them, and you go a begging every day of the week. We were told by, is it Delalake, of how much mineral resources that we have that we are not unearthing, and that's even in the mining sector. But just to joggle, is that the right word? Is it to jog your memory, or I think just to jog your memory a little bit? A South Korean firm, Daewoo Engineering and Construction, were given the contract, for refurbishing the refineries, about two of them, $740.6 million and $492.3 million. That's for Kaduna and Warri refineries. Technimont SPA was given, an Italian company, the sum of $1.4 billion, to refine or to refurbish, I beg your pardon, the Port Harcourt refinery, and that was awarded in the year 2021, March 2021. Timipri Silva was quoted as saying that $586.9 million had been spent for Kaduna and $897.6 million spent on Warri refinery, and yet they're still not working. And I'm talking about the ongoing, at the time, the ongoing rehabilitation. They had spent almost all of the money, but yet the refineries are still not working many years later. Messrs. Saipem SPA and Saipem Contracting Limited had been earlier contracted at the sum of $1.4 billion for the Kaduna and Warri refineries. So it was re-awarded, even though $1.4 billion had been the sum of the contract given to Messrs. Saipem SPA. Now, the Guardian newspaper of August 2022 talked about how refinery workers gulped 136 billion naira. Business Day, September 2021, talked about how the refineries employed 1,586 new staff for a refinery that was not working, that still isn't working, and paid about 69 billion naira as wages. Now, the Punch newspaper of January 2020 talked about $396 million spent on turnaround maintenance between 2013 and 2015. Now, the Guardian newspaper of 2021 talked about $25 billion spent on the refinery's rehabilitation. Now, according to the report, Abacha spent $216 million between 1994 to 1998, but the refineries, instead of improving, dropped capacity from 60% optimization it was operating before the 1994. Abdulsalami spent $92 million. A report quoted former GMD of NNPC, then he was NNPC, Funsho Kupolokon, as saying Obasanjo spent $1 billion in repairs. Obasanjo sold the refineries to consortium Blue Circle, led by Dangote and Otedola. Yar'Adua reversed the deal, and by Goodluck Jonathan's era, the refineries had an output of 0. Yes. Now, as at the publication of Punch, 8 May 2023, the government was paying 8.4 trillion naira as subsidy to import petrol into the country. Vanguard, May 6, 2023, quoting NNPC reports to FAC, 2021, 1.57 trillion. January to May 2022, 1.27 trillion, and June 2022 to June 2023, 3 trillion. And these were monies believed to be gulped by subsidy. Under President Muhammadu Buhari, subsidy costs 7.83 trillion naira. Reuters puts it at 10 billion. Oh, did I say trillion? Okay, yeah, trillion naira. While Reuters puts it at $10 billion. Business Day claims Buhari spent over 11 trillion naira in, subsidy payments. All of these monies, I cannot, how do I put it? All of these monies we've spent since Abacha's time far supersedes how much Dangote used to build his refinery. His refinery was built for $18.5 billion. So is there something that we are not getting? Is there something that we are missing? Is there something that, I don't know, because from Abacha, it looks like it was a great, source of, should I say source? Okay, I'm not accusing anybody of corruption. But it looks like every government had a way of refurbishing or rehabilitating the refinery. So it felt like a good place to put some budgeting, some money into, from Abacha to Obasanjo to Yaradua to Goodluck, and then Muhammadu Buhari. And we're waiting to see what, President Tinubu will do if he would also spend some more money into refurbishing the refineries. These are the issues. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we do come back, I would open the phone lines. I'd like to get your thoughts. I've got several questions I want to ask you, but when I do come back, I would like to hear what you think about the refineries and why they're not working.
The grass in the yard got my head.
All right, so I do have the headline news coming up at the bottom of the hour. However, I want to throw out my question so that we can get our thoughts ready by the time I open the phone lines. And number one question is: should we sell the refineries off? Atiku had once said, we should sell it off. I think Obasanjo had also talked about the impossibility or the feasibility of the refineries working, and I remember someone said he's not an engineer, and I had argued at the time that he was the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Should we sell the refinery so we can have private investors come in, work the refineries to proper standards, have the refineries competing? I mean, we would not have one person buy all of the refineries, by the way, but imagine the Port Harcourt refinery competing with the Warri refinery, competing with the Kaduna refinery, and all of these refineries competing with Dangote's refinery, competing with the refinery believed to be built by Bois Group, yeah. If we look at it from that angle, would it not benefit Nigeria? That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, should we? I mean, we've read the news or the that the representatives decided the ministers or voters and pay ECBO should be punished for that industry not working. Should we have people losing jobs? Just cause I mean, we even have people going to court. I mean, if Italy, and yeah, main charges, I believe one of the charge or one of the main charges is misappropriation of office. I want to believe. So should we not have people going to answer for misappropriating their time in office as to the why the refineries get to work? Now, some of you already have your name tag for me anytime we bring up the refinery, because I'm one of the people who said, let's be positive. And I argued and I mentioned, I said, what if the refinery works? I remember asking at the time, what if the refineries work? And, I've not asked that question in a while, because this is almost the fourth month, or rather the fifth month of, this is the fourth month ending, the fifth month of 2024. And the refineries are yet to work. So I've got the headline news now. I'm going to bring the headline news to you. After that, I come back and I take your calls and your thoughts as it relates to the matter, as regards the matter we're discussing. All right, just stay tuned.
Headline news, Nigeria Info 92.
festival, I think. Yeah, to send me a plate of onuno, and I'm looking forward to that. But this one says the refinery has been a cash cow since General Sani Abacha's era till date. Any government that comes in will vote or budget huge amount of money for its turnaround maintenance. Meanwhile, Dangote built a new one with a far lesser amount. It's a pity corruption is too much in Nigeria. Bernard from Port Harcourt. I've got Obed from Port Harcourt. Obed, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Canada, good evening.
Yeah, greetings.
Yes, Canada.
I should start.
People who are calling for refinery to be privatized, are they consider every other variable? The people that the owners of tank farms, will they allow refinery to function even though it's been privatized? Look, there are several things that is involved here. Politicians' home. Canada, go and take go and calculate. Over 250 tank farms is in this country. So what will make you think that refinery will work? If refinery work, or any need for the tank farm, so there must be some sabotage here and there to ensure, to hinder refinery from working. So even though you bring private investor to come and for the refinery, it will still not work. You understand? Haven't we privatized the power sector?
But why do you feel it will still not work? Why are you so sure about that? Even if you privatize it?
I don't understand, Canada. I've said it here. I say politicians own tank farms where they install fuel whenever fuel is being imported to the country.
But that does not mean that there cannot be competition. I mean, they could still compete. They could start buying from refineries and storing in their tank farms. I mean, don't you get that?
No, Canada. This time around, there might be no business for them. There might be no landing cost. Nobody will calculate landing cost. So they won't allow it. That is the problem we are having right now. Because when you look at the whole thing, you begin to ask yourself questions. Does it require nuclear physics to be able to fix our refinery and make it work? In US, have over 30 refineries working. You understand? So what is wrong with the country? So I do find him and came up with what I just told you. Okay. Politicians own tank farms all over the country. So the refinery will be very, very difficult for the refinery to come on stream. Honestly.
All right. So it's just like saying politicians own generators, so we would never fix our power sector. Is that
your guess is as good as mine.
All right. Thank you very much, Obed. Emeka from Rumukuta. Welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you. Hello, Emeka, can you hear me? Oh my, terrible phone line there. The line is breaking, but go ahead, let's see if we can hear what you have to say. Emeka, you would have to call back. I'm really sorry, Emeka, you would have to call back there. All right, keep those calls coming in. Let's look at more messages coming in on WhatsApp. This one says, Ernest from Moji, sometimes you people make me laugh. What is stopping River State government from setting up modular refineries in each of the local government areas? Oh, I'm asking for too much. Our governor can't even employ teachers, okay? Bayelsa and Rivers should come together to set up modular refineries, or they can't do that. You only see them together during party issues or when they want to bury one of their so-called statesmen. If we have our own refinery, I'm sure we wouldn't be complaining of fuel price too. And I do agree with you. And as from Moji, thank you very much. I think I agree with that line of thought. And it is good evening, Mr. K. About refineries. It is quite unfortunate that President Bola Tinubu-led administration is fooling Nigerians on a daily basis. I am of the opinion that refineries should be sold off to private investors. After all, in abroad, refineries are managed by private individuals. Onate Clinton West. I do think they are private-run refineries, though. I think in Texas, I can't remember now. But Braid from Rumodumaya, Braid, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear.
Good evening, Mr. Abatu.
Yeah, greetings to you.
Yes, for me, I think it would be fine if they should be able to privatize it. Or in fact, sell it off.
Okay.
Let private investors come in. But my take is that I would have seen, because if you sell it out, then it's not a petroleum minister as a president becoming a petroleum minister.
It removes hands off entirely. I mean,
that is why you see that our power sector, there is any improvement. Today, our national grid collapse. And if I tell you that if the government will still continue to have hand, even when private investors come in, there won't be any improvement. My take is that the government should completely